Here's the question. If you turned on 1 million RTX 5090 graphics cards and mined Bitcoin non-stop for 7 days, how much would you actually make? And is it profit or just a very expensive joke? Let's set the rules straight. Bitcoin's network is running at 1 zettahash per second. That's 1,000 exahash. The network produces about 450 Bitcoin per day, roughly 3,150 Bitcoin every week. Bitcoin is priced at $110,000. Each RTX 5090 costs around $3,000, pulls 575 watts, and being very generous, let's assume it could do 0.5 terahash per second on Hashrate 256. One card equals 0.5 terahash per second. 1 million cards equals 500,000 terahash per second equals 0.5 exahash per second. Compare that to the entire network, 1,000 exahash per second. Your share is just 0.05% of global Bitcoin mining power. Hold on to that number, it's the key to everything that follows. The network creates 3,150 Bitcoin per week. Your share at 0.05% equals about 1.575 BTC in 7 days. At $110,000 per Bitcoin, that's roughly $173,000 gross revenue in a week. Sounds like something until you look at the costs. Each GPU draws 575 watts. 1 million cards equals 575 megawatts of constant load. Over 7 days equals 96,600 megawatt hours of energy. At 10 cents per kilowatt hour, that's $9.66 million in electricity costs for just $173,000 of revenue. You're burning nearly $10 million a week to make pocket change. Now add the hardware bill. 1 million cards times $3,000 equals $3 billion up front. At $173,000 a week, you'd break even in over 333 years if electricity was free. With power costs, it's never. 1 million RTX 5090 isn't a money printer, it's a money shredder. But here's where it gets crazy. What if instead of GPUs, you took that same $3 billion and bought ASICs, machines built for Bitcoin? For example, the Antminer S19K Pro does 120 terahash per second at about 2,760 watts. At roughly $1,000 each, $3 billion gets you about 3 million machines. Total hash rate equals 3 million times 120 terahash per second equals 360 exahash per second. That's about 36% of the entire Bitcoin network. Your weekly share equals 36% of 3,150 Bitcoin equals 1,134 Bitcoin per week. At $110,000 per Bitcoin, that's about $124.7 million in revenue every week. But ASICs aren't free to run. Each S19K Pro pulls 2,760 watts. 3 million machines equals 8,280 megawatts of continuous demand. Over 7 days equals 1,390,000 megawatt hours of electricity. At 10 cents per kilowatt hour, that's a $139 million power bill. So with average electricity, you'd actually lose money. But at 3 cents per kilowatt hour, the bill drops to $41.7 million, leaving you with around $83 million profit every week. That's how you actually scale Bitcoin mining. So the verdict is clear. 1 million RTX 5090s, approximately 1.6 BTC per week, $173,000, but $9.6 million in power costs. $3 billion in ASICs, approximately 1,134 Bitcoin per week, $124 million with a path to $83 million profit per week if you secure cheap energy. For Bitcoin mining, the choice isn't even close, ASICs or nothing. When it comes to Bitcoin, GPUs don't even enter the race. They burn your money, while ASICs are the only engines built to survive. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive. Trust me, things only get more insane from here.